used to come from all over the world. And Wuhan, वहाँ पे the virus, they according to them emerged from a bat में से humans में आया, and within a month it killed it affected about 1 lakh people. Out of 1 lakh, about 3,000 died, and another few seriously this thing. And they went put the city in a lockdown, and in less than a month, अच्छा 10 पहले तो वो सीक्रेट रखा हुआ था, किसी को बता नहीं रहे थे.
सितंबर
जिसने बताया
सितंबर
जिसने बताया उसको मार दिया. जिस डॉक्टर ने बताया कि ऐसे पेशेंट्स आ रहे हैं, अच्छा, they kept it a secret.
They wanted it to be a secret.
Then within a month the virus vanished. It vanished from there. जैसे कि लॉकडाउन कर दो, वायरस गायब हो जाएगा. And अच्छा, now it happened in the month of December, January. There's an annual 10 दिन का New Year festival, which is a very major thing for the Chinese, that annual New Year festival. And all the Chinese diaspora from all over the world, they visit Chinese during that. They come back and visit for that 10 days. China में खाली 10 दिन साल में छुट्टी इंसान लेता है during that. They don't take annual leave नाम की चीज़ नहीं है.
कोई और वही नहीं है उनका.
They come for the, and so from all over the world they come in that. From Wuhan, they carried that virus. All the diaspora who had come, they carried the virus to Germany and to Paris, to Italy, to जहाँ पे ना न्यूयॉर्क, सब जगह, लंदन, it carried to all these cities. जहाँ पे, and there it spread like wildfire. And from there it spread to other cities, spread all over the world. And Chinese
they waited for it to
no,
spread.
all
They
the
waited.
country,
They
all
waited
the
for
countries
it.
went into lockdown, including India did the most extensive lockdown. सब countries went into lockdown. But जैसे ही lockdown lift करते थे, वायरस बाहर वेट कर रहा होता था. The next wave would start the moment lockdown was lifted. It did not. 2.5 साल के बाद अभी तक the virus is still going around. But during the period, 500 kilometers from China is a city, from Wuhan is Shanghai, which is considered twin city. जितनी ट्रैफिक वुहान से बाकी दुनिया में जाती थी, उससे 10 गुना ज़्यादा ट्रैफिक शंघाई और वुहान के बीच में थी. शंघाई में किसी को नहीं हुआ, वुहान में इतने लोगों को हुआ और लोग मर गए. शंघाई में नहीं हुआ, बीजिंग में नहीं हुआ, बाकी चाइना में नहीं हुआ. बाकी चाइना अपना प्रोडक्शन चलती रही, मैन्युफैक्चर चलता रहा, लोग बिना मास्क के घूमते रहे. मतलब अटैक गलवान तक पहुंच गए वो इंडिया में अटैक करने के लिए, विदाउट वेयरिंग मास्क, विदाउट दिस थिंग. देयर वाज नो लॉकडाउन एनीवेयर एल्स. अच्छा, now no virus on earth can behave like this. There is no medical way a virus can behave कि यहाँ पे एक बाकी दुनिया में जहाँ गए बिहेव डिफरेंटली, और चाइना में खाली एक सिटी में मारा और दूसरे सिटी तक नहीं पहुँचा, क्योंकि लॉकडाउन से पहले तो देयर वाज फ्री मूवमेंट बिटवीन द सिटीज. व्हाई डिडंट इट कैरी? देयर इज ओनली वन मेडिकल एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर दिस, फॉर अ वायरस टू बिहेव कि यहाँ पे क्या, बाकी चाइनीज पे नहीं किया लेकिन बाकी दुनिया में किया. The rest of the Chinese were protected against that virus.
How?
That means they were vaccinated before the virus was released.
How will they be vaccinated?
How will they? Because the virus was created in the lab. They created a perfect vaccine for that virus. In 2019, China did a BCG vaccination for the whole country. बच्चे से लेके बूढ़े तक पूरे देश में, they said कि we are doing. BCG is दीदी हम सबको टीके लग चुके हैं, जिसका स्कार हो जाता था 5 साल से कम के बच्चों को. हम जनरली बर्थ के बाद वो टीका लगाते थे जिसका स्कार आ जाता है. नो, इट दैट वाज फॉर टीबी का लिए था.
But they put it for
आफ्टर द
BCG.
एज ऑफ 5 बीसीजी वैक्सीन का बॉडी में कोई रोल नहीं है. बचपन में 1 डोज लगता था, उसके बाद जिसको लगाने 5 साल के बाद के बच्चे को लगाने में कोई फ़ायदा नहीं था. तो चाइना ने बोला कि हम पूरे देश को लगा रहे हैं. सारी दुनिया ने कहा पागल लोगों हैं, कोई फ़ायदा है नहीं लगाना है, लगाएं, उनका देश है, लगाएं. उन्होंने सबको लगा दिया.
That was just
What
before
they were
COVID.
doing that BCG के नाम पे उन्होंने सारे देश को अपना कोने ओवर. In Wuhan, they left a small population of people जिनको कोई नकली वैक्सीन डाल दिया होगा, पानी डाल दिया होगा, this thing, who were to be the ones जो जहाँ पे जो अफेक्ट होंगे, जिनमें से मरेंगे, ये करेंगे, they were left unvaccinated.
So they could see the effect.
And then the virus was launched just before the New Year festival, when they knew कि दुनिया भर से लोग आएंगे. And all the people who come from outside were not vaccinated. So they carried it to the respective countries और वहाँ से जो फैला तो फैलता गया.
But how do you know that this is the only virus that affects every single part of the body?
That's how the virus had behaved. It is the virus which was affecting लोगों के lungs
But I
affect
thought
किए,
it was
लोगों के
only
kidneys
affected.
affect किए, लोगों के people became blind, people they lost their sense of taste and I mean 2.5 years after that I've not got my sense of taste back and smell. Most days I can only smell a very strong अगर नाक के पास परफ्यूम बॉटल डालूं तो I get the smell. ये तो मुझे स्मेल ही नहीं आती. And taste also पहले तो बिल्कुल टेस्ट चली गई थी जब कोविड हुआ था. Now
And your sweetheart too.
now I can, both of us, and now I can only taste salt, sweet, कड़वा ऐसे फ्लेवर जो फ्लेवर्स होते हैं ना which enhance the taste. I don't get any flavor. जो स्पाइसेस का फ्लेवर, इलायची का, इसका स्वाद आता ही नहीं
Oh
है.
my God.
2.5 years after.
Wow.
And Sunita is the same. So this virus is still there in the body. Sleep cycles ऐसे affect हुए 2.5 साल के बाद
वो
अभी
बोल
भी.
रहे थे कि इसका कुछ ऐसा है कि इट इज गोना चेंज योर होल सम मेरे को तो
Body का, हाँ.
साइंस नहीं है बट सम जेनेटिक्स ऑफ योर बॉडी राइट
So it cannot, that's because it's, अच्छा, and
But medically, you
now
thought that the
really-
virus does not look like a regular virus.
no, no virus has,
four
in nature, no
Four
virus
positive
has जो
protein.
जो अपने आप ही it has developed the potential to affect every organ of the body. ऐसा कोई वायरस लोग, it was causing blood clots, it was causing clots in the brain, it was
दिस
causing
इज
all
व्हाट
this.
हैपेंड टू मी बिकॉज मेरा जो हुआ एकदम से माय माउथ स्टार्टेड टू स्लीप मैंने दोपहर को लगाया 3:30 बजे के करीब वैक्सीन लगवाया वो भी मैंने इसलिए लगवाया कि माय ग्रैंडसन वाज वैक्सीनेटेड बाय मेडर्ना वैक्सीन एंड आई वाज वेरी अपसेट कि क्यों 13 साल के बच्चे को क्यों वैक्सीन लगा रहे हो बट यू नो व्हाट आई डोंट हैव एनी
Say in it.
say in it because the
ये plus
mother is
उन्होंने-
doing it mother is doing
ये
it
दीदी उन्होंने ऐसा भी तो करा लिया
और
कि जो वैक्सीन
neurological
नहीं होगा
affair भी
उसको
तो हो रहा है।
ट्रैवल परमिट नहीं मिलेगा, वो कहीं जा नहीं सकता, वो कोई ये नहीं कर
स्पोर्ट्स
सकता,
नहीं खेल सकते
कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
कुछ नहीं कर सकते so
हाँ,
he
तो they
wanted
made
to-
sure
हाँ,
that
they
the
made
world
sure.
took the vaccine. अच्छा, and दीदी vaccines are 100 years old. It's not a new thing, vaccines.
हाँ,
हाँ.
but they have been
And
tested
there have
now.
been a standard vaccine बनाने का एक standard हुआ है कि you take the disease virus. Now there are two routes. Either you kill that virus or वो dead body को you inject into a person. So the body will develop antibodies against that dead and that dead cell. But proteins तो है उसमें. So the other way is that you put a live virus. The live virus को ना they make it weak. They put it through processes so that it loses most of that toxicity. And you put that live virus into the body and the body will develop antibodies against it. It will not affect the body that strong. You might get a mild fever or something, but it won't cause polio. It won't cause the full this thing. So there are the two ways of making virus. और सारे viruses वैसे बनते हैं. Now when you have a pandemic which has come across the world, is killing people across the world and there is no vaccine against it, no known vaccine, what do? You will take the tried and tested route. Moderna and Pfizer said we are going to try a new technique. कि उन्होंने the corona का जो virus था उसके spikes थे and all the deadly properties were on the spikes.
What was that spike all about?
The spike was the structure of the. If you looked at the structure of the virus, it had little projection spikes all over it, all around it, and the spikes
That made
were-
it more
the spikes
deadly.
made it more deadly. All the the dangerous part was on the spike. So they said कि हम spike का एक छोटा सा sequence लेंगे, the protein sequence from the spike. We'll take a small sequence and we'll make a RNA, messenger RNA, which will go and inject the messenger RNA into the body. So body will start injecting a large number of spikes. And then the body will recognize the spikes are and they'll make antibodies against that spike. So the antibodies will go and attack the spikes of the virus and kill the virus, which is a very complicated way of going about it. And basically you're flooding the body with the dangerous part of the virus.
Oh my
And
god.
that is why it has full of so many इतने जो complications, heart attacks जो
my
वैक्सीन ने
God.
किया और जो शोल्डर को अटैक किया
Attack
ये
the
किया.
spike of the
And
virus.
this is that you put the ability, you train the body to start creating this, instead of creating antibodies, you train the body to first start creating the spike. Those body lifelong is going to create those spikes. So that is why लोगों को the complications of
कितने
corona
young
virus,
बच्चों की death
strokes
हुई
में,
है,
अच्छा,
कितने young
अच्छा, now
बच्चों
why
की
should,
Young kids
heart,
have
नहीं,
died.
heart,
नहीं, you
young,
don't, when you have a new
30, 40
disease
years,
which
yeah.
is killing people by the millions,
Yeah.
why do you want to experiment with a new technology, go by the only two vaccines that went the traditional route was the Covaxin and the Covishield. The Covishield used that virus को weak करके किया, and Covaxin took the dead virus. They made that, so that's why.
And it worked.
Acha, now what happened?
Does it work?
This
Yes.
this virus.
But nobody
India
is giving.
But this
But we didn't get
You
it.
did not in USA because they were not making. Most money was made by Moderna and
and
Pfizer.
Pfizer, and they
We
were
were
trying
not
to
even
sell it
offered
all over
a
the
choice.
world.
We didn't have.
Acha, and the countries they sold it to,
Hmm.
Pfizer, they made them sign a clause, a contract में कि you will not hold the company responsible for any complications that may come from the virus. They protected themselves, the companies.
Yeah.
कि वैक्सीन से कोई भी complication होगा तो you cannot sue the company.
them.
They made the countries sign that. That's the reason why India refused to sign.
इंडिया में मोदी ने तो बचा दिया.
और जो
इंडिया
कोवैक्सिन
को.
था,
जो जितनी हमारी population है, second populated.
the way India handled that is the best
Best, my God, I can't.
अच्छा, and
their plan was कि इंडिया में
Wait,
population को खत्म
this
करना.
two
they wanted
vaccines that you
China
talked
because
about.
Modi was the only one who was opposing China's growth. They wanted to they thought कि India totally वो जो घुटने पे खत्म हो जाएगी, and that's why उस वक्त उसने आर्मी भी भेज दी कि जाके अभी लद्दाख को कैंसिल.
हाँ बिल्कुल. I mean,
They
I don't
never
know,
imagined that India will stand up to them and fight
Can
against
you
them.
imagine अगर we didn't have Modi?
We would have lost the whole
We
of
would have
Kashmir.
finished the whole
Whole thing.
world.
But what I want to know is who made that two vaccine?
Who made the two vaccines? Pfizer and Moderna.
No, the ones that you
The
said.
two vaccine, China had
The
years.
No, the proper.
Vaccine.
The proper.
Who made it? It's a company called Bharat Biotech.
India ने बनाई है.
India made that virus, and that is the most effective with the least side effects.
Effective with the least
क्योंकि
side effect.
क्योंकि
And
you're
that's
taking
what
the
they
whole,
gave to the whole,
you know, you're taking the
of
whole.
India. That's why बच गया India. कितनी death हुई है normal
अच्छा,
से
because when you
ज़्यादा
got
हुई
the
है.
whole virus,
So we
the
went.
vaccine, the
We made our
antibody you're
own
making
vaccine.
is attacking the whole of the virus.
तुम कहाँ रहती हो? तुमको कुछ
I
नहीं मालूम.
didn't. No, I didn't
And
know
they
India
helped
made our
all
own
these
vaccine.
countries like
And
Africa
India
and
supplied-
And everybody is
India
using-
supplied the vaccine free of cost
Free of cost to so many countries.
I mean, 55 nations across the world. India supplied the vaccine free of cost, which for the Pfizer was charging $15 per dose, and India was supplying free of cost. And that's why the India की जो भारत बायोटेक थी, उसको एक साल तक ना they refused to give the license. उसको further test, which was the most effective vaccine, the safest vaccine, because they wanted Pfizer to, and they were trying to pressurize. Congress was pressurizing the government.
India में आया तो उसको उन्होंने इसको कुछ और बोला था नाम. They didn't call COV. They called it anti something like that. जो इंडिया का वैक्सीन आया उसमें कोई % चांस ऑफ हार्ट अटैक करके उसको रिजेक्ट करवा दिया.
किसने?
कनाडा में.
अच्छा, इंडिया उसको वैक्सीन को रिजेक्ट कर दिया.
इंडिया के.
Whereas the Pfizer and all that had a much higher.
They don't disclose it.
And because the Indian
People
vaccine was
have
attacking the whole of the virus, so this virus was also, coronavirus was specifically chosen. Corona types of virus mutate very fast. So the Chinese chose the coronavirus because it will keep on mutating. But within at Omicron had 22 mutations only on the spike. Within the spike there was, so whole body of it had mutated so much. So the second wave, third wave, why? Pfizer kept on, USA kept on injecting the same dose 4 times. They've injected the same vaccine.
7 times.
Which was, by the Omicron, it had become, the vaccine was having no action because Omicron में इतने mutations आ गए थे कि there was no way it was going to help on that. But सबको वही डोज लगाते रह गए और लगाओ.
7 उन्होंने कार्ड बना दिया था कि 7 लगेंगे और अब वो 7 पूरे हो गए हैं. अभी कनाडा में 7 almost 6 या 7th होने.
इंडिया 2 डोज देके ना कोवैक्सीन के, they protected the whole country. Because you know the vaccine, even if you're mutating,
nobody is getting COVID anymore.
So now that's why China ने जो vaccine बनाया था, they had time, they had the virus, they had the time, they made a very effective vaccine. That's why they were roaming around freely. बाकी उनको
Yeah,
affect
they're
ही नहीं हुआ.
sending another one.
No, but what happened?
They're sending another
But
one.
what happened was that last year, why China was suddenly caught because a wave आया, which was very weak in the rest of the world. It hardly caused anything, but China was इतने mutations हो गए थे. China never repeated any vaccine after the first dose because they could not launch a continuous without letting the world come to know about it. It caught the whole country by storm, and that's why last year China had so many deaths and so many funerals in the factories because
Which one was that? That one was Corona.
the
or something?
epsilon virus vaccine version of क्योंकि बाकी दुनिया तब तक प्रोटेक्ट हो गई थी from the mutations, but China was left totally uncovered, and suddenly that's when China went into the panic mode and shut down, caused lockdowns and shut down everything and all that last year because they suddenly realized that उनके पास कोई इसका वैक्सीन भी नहीं है और it has come back to bite the hand.
Okay,
which-
but tell me, what is the purpose of China having this warfare against the whole
Okay,
world?
now I'll
It
tell
should
you-
have against
no,
only
I'll tell
United
you.
States.
No, I'll tell you. In fact,
United States and China were in bed.
there was, I'll tell you, there was a time when countries were trying to develop biological warfare, make a dangerous vaccine, by a dangerous virus,
For profit motive.
and I mean to protect the country or war. It was they're making biological weapons कि कभी उसको use कर सकते हैं to if you want to attack and like chemical warfare and biological warfare. And they had chosen coronavirus because coronavirus mutates very fast.